Hello there, people of the internet. So this is a video that I'm making based off of a message that I received on Facebook. And this message was from somebody who watches my channel, and they are someone who wants to get their first firearm, but they specifically want a firearm for hunting. They're not looking to get themselves a defensive firearm or any kind of, tactical firearm. But they wanted some advice on something to get for hunting purposes. And, I can give my 2 cents on that right there. But whenever they were sending me rifles that they were looking at, I was kind of scratching my head at what they were sending me, because this was someone who was very new to the firearms world, and they were not all that knowledgeable on firearms and their functionality, how they work, or even if they were going to end up actually liking their firearm, right? So everything that they were sending me was like high-end, cutting-edge rifle technology. Like, they were all bolt-action rifles, high-caliber bolt-action rifles, but all of these rifles were, they had like cheek risers, extendable stocks, telescoping stocks. They had full M-lock systems, they were all polymer and metal, and, there was no wood on it. And if a liberal saw it, they'd probably cry themselves to sleep at night. It was one of those kind of bolt-action rifles, and they sent me a couple of options to look at. And all of these rifles were, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, and I was like, wow, this guy has some serious disposable income. And whenever we were talking, he said he wanted to get himself something really good, and I was like, you can get yourself something pretty decent that isn't, overly expensive. He said he wanted to get something that he knew was going to last basically for his entire life. And I told him, there's a lot of people out there with like Remington 700s or, things like that. Very inexpensive rifles that were used by grandpa and great-grandpa that have been passed down through generations of family that are still being used to this day. And this is a couple of good examples of things exactly like that. Before I start rambling on about this, the things I'm showing today are not free. If you want to support my work, links to Utreon and Patreon are below. That will help me make content. So this is a Russian TOZ 122 or 123. TOZ 122. No, TO3 122, but they're also called TOZs. I don't really know the difference between the designations of these rifles. I've heard them called both depending on the markings on the rifle and where it is that you pick them up at. This is chambered in .308, and it is an incredibly durable, very powerful round. Well, it's a durable rifle with a powerful round, and although it doesn't look like it has a whole lot of bells and whistles, this thing will probably outlast me. This is made by the Tola arsenal over there in Russia, so there's actually Mosins out there and whatnot that are, over a century old, made by the factory that made this over in Russia, that are still kicking to this day. Ask me how I know. I have shot several Mosins that are well over a century old. But this one being chambered in .308, .308 is a very potent, very powerful round, and this right here is a durable enough rifle to absolutely outlast you. So the beauty about a rifle like this, come on baby, the beauty about a rifle like this is they're not overly expensive. You can get yourself a really nice, good quality rifle for, hell, $400 or $500, and the thing is probably going to outlast you. Damn, my stutter is really bad today. I apologize about that, guys. But you don't have to go and drop, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 on a rifle to get yourself something decent. There are plenty of decent rifles out there. And you don't have to get one that looks tactical. I mean, this guy didn't even know what the rail system was for on these bolt-action rifles. He didn't know what an M-lock system was. This guy was very, very new to firearms. So whenever I talk about him not knowing what he wanted, I really do mean that. But this guy wanted to spend a lot of money on something that looked cool, and he didn't understand the actual fundamental, mechanics and why the things look the way that they do. But cheek riser, telescoping stock, I mean, he had optics on it, iron sights, he had full M-lock system, it was skeletonized. He wanted something that was high-end. And I mean, if you really want that stuff, then by all means, you go ahead and you go for it. But you don't have to go for that. Something like this right here, just a simple wood-stocked bolt-action rifle with a scope on it and a pair of iron sights. I picked this up for like 400 bucks not too terribly long ago. And this will, like I said, assuming that you take care of it and don't dunk it in salt water or something like that, or fire corrosive ammo through it and don't clean it, something like this will absolutely outlast me and outlast you. This is a rifle that will genuinely exist through the ages. And like I said, in 308, this right here is an incredibly powerful, potent cartridge that can really get the job done. Let me go ahead and adjust my hat backwards some. Damn. I forgot how much this rifle recoils. I'm firing, oh, I can't remember what this stuff is. I think it's Silver Bear. And I mean, it hits on target. But 308, there you go. $400 will get you a solid bolt-action rifle that you can use for your hunting purposes. A lot of places here in the US restrict hunting to 5-round magazines, with exceptions of like private land and hunt clubs and places like that. Or if you don't want to go the route of something that is lower cost, but also I don't want to say lower end because it's a pretty damn good quality gun, but there's other firearms out there of equal cost that are even better quality. If you pick yourself up something on the surplus market, then you're going to find that those old military rifles, you're spending a lot less than what the rifle would actually cost if it was being made modern days. Now, a lot of these rifles, you know, if you're getting something that's old and used in multiple world wars and stored improperly, cough, cough, the things coming out of Ethiopia, you might find that the accuracy has diminished on them. However, if you get one that has been taken care of over the years, you're going to find that the accuracy on them is actually quite decent. This right here is an 8mm Mauser rifle, and it fires the 8mm Mauser round. And these particular ones are a 198 grain projectile, should be going around 2600 feet per second, which is a big bullet flying very, very fast. Yeah, you would have absolutely zero problem using something like this as a hunting rifle. And this is a good quality rifle that will outlast basically everybody that's alive now, as long as it's taken care of. And you can get it for not a lot of money in comparison to the amount of quality that you're getting. I just stood the target back up. Let's see if I can knock it back down. Hell, that target's still standing. All I'm doing is I'm just kind of smashing it back into the car. There we go. That knocked it down. Let's go for a bowling pin since I have a few rounds left. Hell, that just went right through that bowling pin and didn't even bother moving the bowling pin. I stood the target back up. Oh God, I love this rifle. But these ones right here, this is a Turkish Mauser. Not the best quality of Mauser that you're gonna find out there, but definitely a better quality than what people give it credit for. These ones right here you can find for like $300 to $500 depending on condition. And this right here will absolutely serve the purposes that you're wanting it to serve. It's a great quality rifle that'll last a long time for not a lot of money. You don't have to go out and spend a tremendous amount of money on something that looks tactical and high-end, especially if you don't know what half the tactical features and high-end features are on that rifle. If you want to, by all means, go ahead, do what you want to do. But you can spend less money on something that maybe doesn't look so tactical, but still has all the longevity, I think that's the word I'm looking for, all the longevity and capabilities of those rifles. Like, for example, this one right here, I had a buddy of mine take this out and he got sub-MOA accuracy with this. I can't do that myself just because I'm not that good of a shot, but he managed to do it, so I know what this rifle is capable of. And like I said, this is a $400 rifle. Speaking of, I gotta get more ammo for that. I don't think that those cases I just used are reloadable. Here's one right here. Are you Burden primed or Boxer primed? It's Bird and primed. Well, fine. I didn't want to reload you anyway. Meh. Oh well, that's just what you get when you get the cheap steel case stuff, and I don't have much of that left. I do, however, have some 308 brass. Not much, but some 308 brass that I can reload to probably run some more rounds through this thing. This is probably what I'm going to take hunting this year. I know we have... I've already gone hunting this year with a couple of milsurps, but I'd like to take this thing out just because this right here would make a really nice little hunting rifle, and it's got a sling on it, unlike several of the military surplus rifles I've taken out. And boy, oh boy, they get heavy after about 15 miles. Alright, well, folks, thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are down below. This is one of those situations, that's what I'm trying to say, one of those situations where you get like diminishing results based on how much more you spend, especially if you're getting things that you don't necessarily understand. Like in this guy's particular case, he didn't know what all the fancy stuff on this rifle was. He just wanted to pay a bunch of money to get something that was high end. And like I said, if you want to do that, go right ahead. But you don't have to spend a lot of money to get something that is very nice, very durable, very accurate, will outlast you and me if taken care of properly. I mean, a lot of these rifles out there are phenomenal in their capabilities just due to modern manufacturing, or if you go with something off the surplus market. If we were to recreate these rifles, and we were to recreate them based off of the amount of quality of the materials and machine work that went into these rifles, these right here would be worth, you know, brand new $2,000, $2,500 plus, depending, well, I'm no account for inflation, but they would be very expensive rifles. And the fact that you can just go out and pick up a surplus rifle of that amount of quality for the amount of money that you can is absolutely mind-blowing. Even with the heavy inflated prices, that like the premiums that we're paying on some of these rifles, you're still paying a lot less than by ratio of amount for dollar amounts based off of then and now than what it would have cost to actually produce that rifle. Anyway, folks, I'm rambling on at this point. Thanks for watching. Appreciate your time. Like, subscribe, share, description below, link to all sorts of stuff. Go ahead and go check that out. You guys go off, have a fantastic day. I'm going to go reload some 308, and hopefully I have a couple of cases that are reloadable cases. I got to go check my stockpile. I'll see what I can find. You guys go off, have yourself a fantastic day. Been a little while since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Garen. It's a shame that bolt-action shotguns aren't more mainstream.